I'd like to thank the Commission for inviting me to be here with you all this afternoon. So John asked me to discuss the evolution of ocean literacy in the United States and also address some of the complementarities that we have put in place that will support, since the signing of the Galway Statement, that will support the implementation of sea change. So he has already discussed ocean literacy. And really, it was started with the National Marine Educators Association in 1976, which was a group of scientists, a group of formal and informal educators, and a group of agency personnel, very, very small group that came together and recognized that they had a common passion for the world of water, both fresh and salt. And that group consistently met and consistently beat the drum about that passion for fresh and salt water. And held annual conferences. The group consists of a core set of members of about 500 to this day. Typically around 300 or 400 come together for the annual conferences. But that consistent message by that grassroots group, NMEA, is what elevated ocean literacy in the United States to the level where it finally got recognized in a report of the President's Panel for Ocean Exploration, which was established under the Clinton administration. So that was very key to get ocean literacy mentioned in a presidential level report. Shortly after that happened in 2000, the National Science Foundation funded the Centers for Ocean Science Education Excellence, or the COSEs. And that was, again, a very important national recognition of the importance of partnering ocean science educators with ocean science researchers to advance ocean science literacy. And then shortly after the COSEs were established, a group of NMEA folks and COSE people and others joined an online workshop to develop these ocean literacy essential principles and fundamental concepts, which you see here, and which will be the foundation on which sea change will move forward here within the EU. And then other high-level, not presidential, but high-level reports that you see listed here continue to mention ocean literacy as an important concept to advance at the national level. It was again mentioned in a presidential level report in 2005, and you will continue to see it listed in the Obama administration's reports under the National Ocean Policy. It has continued to be listed at very high-level reports, but the important takeaway here is that it was started by the National Marine Educators Association, consistently proliferated through that group, and then finally, after about 20 years, got picked up in presidential level reports. And that is an important part for this group to take away. So it's very interesting that after, in 2012, that the European Marine Science Educators Association was formed, and that came about as a small meeting at the National Marine Educators Association. So we are very much thrilled about that and celebrate that. And it's important also to point out that the Canadian Network for Ocean Education is holding their very first literacy conference in Vancouver in the June of 2015. So indeed, we are making headway. So the Galway Statement was signed in May of 2013. John has pointed out that mentioned ocean literacy, and then we were also charged shortly after the signing of the Galway Statement with developing some complementarities to move that forward. And I worked very closely with Gail Labuye. Gail, are you here? Would you raise your hand, please? There's Gail. And so we had a lovely time working together to develop several complementarities, and I want to point those out to you now. The very first one was looking at deep sea discoveries on board the NOAA ship Okeanos Explorer. And initially, I was just looking at highlighting the discoveries that the ship had made in the North Atlantic around some key topical areas. And working with Peter Tuddenham and his colleagues at the College of Exploration, then we were talking, and I thought, well, we really need to extend this and include this and to cover transatlantic ocean literacy. So we did, and it was quite successful. We had 640 participants. We had 28 countries. We included a full week of transatlantic ocean literacy, looking at the history of ocean literacy then, now, and in the future. And we had, I believe it was over about 123 participants from Portugal alone. So go Portugal. It was a wonderfully evaluated workshop as well. Here's some of the takeaways. It was viewed as highly focused and content-rich learning opportunity. The participants obtained recent and relevant science content that had secondary utility beyond what they got for themselves. 92% reported a personal increase in their own science content. 83% said they would share it beyond their own use. Here's two final very important bullets. It enhanced, strengthened, and created a social community around transatlantic ocean literacy, and it moved toward the creation of an engaged and active social community for research and learning. This is significant in terms of what this can bring towards Sea Change, because Sea Change will also, as part of one of their work packages, be implementing online workshops. In addition to this, the educators said that it was valuable for their teaching of students, and the science and government officials noted that they had more informed perspectives of the current science research, as well as the potential for transatlantic activity among individuals and the organizations they represent. That is significant, ladies and gentlemen, for what we're working with here. And it was also noted that this community, with additional support, may become self-sustaining. Another complementarity that we worked on was Ocean Sampling Day, a pilot program connecting ocean science and education. And we developed a lesson plan. We also developed a website that was hosted on one of the NOAA websites. And we connected with some of the Microbe 3 videos. You saw one of the videos today, and I'm not going to be able to get this little video to work, but I wanted to show you, I don't know. Oh, yes. So we asked these students some questions about microbial biodiversity.
Microbial biodiversity. Microbial diversity. It's just a tongue twister. Microbial biodiversity. Microbial diversity. I can't say. Microbial biodiversity.
Okay, you can watch the rest of it on the website. But it goes on to ask them if they know what it means and if they know why microbes are important, et cetera. So it's a great little way to get a lot of different audiences engaged in that. So that was successful, that online course. We are repeating it again this year, just simply focused on Ocean Science Day. It will begin in May. I don't even know that we've set the date yet, have we, Peter? Close. So stay tuned. But it was also noted at a meeting that we held back in Washington, the importance of Ocean Sampling Day to increasing public awareness and citizen science engagement around transatlantic ocean literacy. Another thing that we have done in the States that I think will lend significant input and support into the Sea Change project is we have formal partnerships with 15 different major aquaria in which we offer professional development to educators. And we've worked closely with Philip Bell at the University of Washington, who has written an amazing book looking at the power of these facilities in terms of their success in informal science learning, and he has noted they offer lifelong, life-wide, and life-deep learning, and can really be important in terms of sustained change and in working with citizens as change agents. And so this is going to be significant, John, in terms of what you all plan to do with working with these informal centers. It's important to note, too, expanding to the global level, that ocean literacy is listed was mentioned at the World Ocean Conference on Education for Sustainable sustainable development in Japan. It is listed in the IOC Development Draft Strategy. I know because I put the comments in there. And it is also listed in the UN World Ocean Assessment. And I know that because I was a lead chapter reviewer. Pardon me, 2 minutes. Okay, thank you. In closing, I want to conclude with this slide, and I used this slide in a presentation that I gave at the State Department in DC when members sitting here in this room came together to discuss initially the idea of a transatlantic ocean literacy partnership. And this quote on this slide is from an Inuit elder who is reflecting on sea ice change, the changes in sea ice based on their indigenous knowledge and looking at what they know and what they've observed from looking at the sea ice, and that the Earth is faster now. And I know with no expenditure of resources, additional resources, that what we have been able to do because of the Galway Statement it has been significant through these complementarities. And I know that the conversations that we have had and these projects that we have been able to have enabled that have spurred conversations among scientists, among educators, among agency personnel would not have taken place were it not for Galway. And the conversations about ocean literacy since the beginning of Galway have demonstrated at the most fundamental level that we share many things. We have a shared heritage. We have a shared passion. We have shared resources. We have shared knowledge and understanding. And we have a shared responsibility for one Atlantic Ocean, for our Atlantic Ocean. Why? Because the Earth is faster now. Thank you.